I'm Jade. Welcome back to my The Bachelor recap. This week is the week before hometowns! It's getting serious. You are about to meet people's families. So in this episode, Grant really needs to know, am I ready to go up and meet your family and tell them I possibly want to marry you even though we've been on one date together? Or is there just not enough for us to really take that step? Let's get into it. This week, the girls are in Edinburgh, Scotland. There are 2 one-on-ones and 1 final group date. And this group date will be the last time they're ever in a group setting before Grant proposes to his possible fiance. So it's really exciting. And because there's only 2 one-on-ones and this is the week before hometowns, it is very important to get that time. And the only people who haven't got one-on-ones at this point are Zoe, Litía, and Juliana. And I say Litía because she only really got a one-on-one dinner, but not like an entire day, like the usual one-on-one. Juliana gets the first one-on-one. They take a helicopter ride over the beautiful views of Edinburgh, Scotland. They stop in front of this castle. They get out. They get styled by people who have styled the royalty of Scotland, and then they have this beautiful Bridgerton themed ball with people dancing to choreography and the orchestra, and it's just a very cute moment if you're a Bridgerton fan. Very romantic date. Meanwhile, while they're having their date, the group date card arrives at the hotel, and Zoe is really hoping her name is not on that list because she feels like she is the only one now who has not had a one-on-one, when technically Litía hasn't either, but I get where she's coming from. And so Zoe's name unfortunately ends up being on that list, and it doesn't look like she's gonna make it to hometowns, because at this point, if you were to meet Zoe's parents, you would have never had a one-on-one date with her. You would have only seen her in these slivers of group settings, and then kind of, thank goodness she took a little bit extra time, because, that alone time is really where you stand out. And if you never get alone time with the person, I'm going to assume they really don't want you for real, and you get in the boot before hometowns. So Zoe's very upset by this, obviously. The other one-on-one goes to Litía. I can't lie, I'm really excited because y'all know I'm Team Litía! Hey, Team Litía! Hey, Team Litía! Hey, Team Litía! Hey, Team Litía! Hey. Okay. Sorry, I get so excited when I talk about them! But yeah, Zoe doesn't get the other one-on-one. It goes to Litía, who, like I said, technically hasn't had a one-on-one date. She only had that super small group date with the 3 people when they went to that dog shelter thing, and then she got the dinner at the end. Zoe says that, she's gonna put her best foot forward in tomorrow's group date and really just try to stand out and see that she is worth the hometown rose. Before sitting down for dinner, Grant gives Juliana a necklace, and as they sit down, Juliana starts to share some of her trauma, because all y'all know, trauma dump time is dinner time. Your only dinner time, so kind of weird, but I guess they gotta know about you one way or another. During dinner, Juliana shares that she dealt with someone in her family suffering from addiction during her upbringing. She didn't have the most loving family. It really affected her childhood. And she laughs and smiles now because she came from such a dark place. She didn't used to always be this bubbly person. I'm not entirely sure what specifically she dealt with. It seemed like she may have been hinting at possible thoughts, but she didn't explicitly say it. So she felt like a lone wolf in her family, and Grant is bursting at the seams to show her his lone wolf tattoo on his arm that he got because he also felt like a lone wolf in his family dealing with, his dad suffering from addiction. Grant explains that he completely understands Juliana and he really wants to be there for her. I feel like when Grant sees something in a woman where he can be protective of her, that really makes him latch onto them, because he did mention last episode when Carolina was spiraling a little bit that he was upset because he felt like he wanted to be protective of her after the whole seizure thing. So Grant really likes, a woman who needs some protection. Grant, I'm all alone. Come protect me. Juliana explains that she can see herself falling in love with Grant, and they go outside to kiss as fireworks shoot off. For the group date, it is a day full of Scottish culture and games. People are dressed up in kilts. Grant's in a kilt. The girls are in the traditional Scottish clothing. They play games like caper toss, musical chairs. They get their fortune read. It's just a real fun Scottish fair type of day. Everyone's enjoying the games with Grant, and Carolina is over at the table by herself, looking pitiful, just pitiful as ever. Just upset that he's spending time with these girls and getting to know these other girls. And I'm not going to do the whole breaking news thing again. Y'all get it. She doesn't know what show she signed up for, clearly. And so she thinks that her sitting all by her lonesome will get Grant to come over. And it does. It does. Because, of course, Grant wants to check on everybody who's there to date him and make sure they're having as good of a time as they can. He asks her to join. She says, nah, I'm good. You could keep them. You could keep that. I ain't trying to be bothered with that. And Grant wants to know why she doesn't want to join. And so they step away and they have a conversation for what seems like to be forever. We go to commercial break, and the next scene of the whole show is dedicated to Carolina and Grant's conversation before we go to the next commercial break. Okay? So clearly y'all see it was a long time, and the girls were not happy about it. They're talking about how this is the last group date. We should all get a chance to spend some time with him. Why the heck does she get to pull him away for so long at that? During their conversation, she just tells him how it's so hard to see how he's bonding with the other girls. And, he's got to do what he's got to do. I don't know how many times we're going to have this conversation. And then she talks about how I want us to be good. I feel like all of our conversations are recovering from drama. I just want to be good. And Grant eventually encourages her to rejoin the group. And guess what, y'all? By the time they're done, it starts thundering, raining, pouring, cats and dogs, y'all. The day is over. The fair is over. And then they don't even take it inside. The group date's done. Y'all, I think he might have spent like 60 to 70% of the group date with just Carolina. And so the girls are angry. The girls are pissed. Because it's like, this is the last group date before he possibly meets my family. You stole him for most of the day. How the heck am I supposed to feel confident bringing this man to my family? We've probably had collectively 2 dates together. One single one, and then like 10 minutes of all the slivers of group dates over this course of the season. We can call that a second date. Imagine 2 dates you bring this man to your family, y'all. There's no way I'm bringing a man to my family after 2 dates? Just 2? Dos? Oh no, you're out of your mind. 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 I'm not bringing a man to my family until he's been my boyfriend for at least 4 months, and it's been good. That's when my family can meet him. And 4 months might even be too soon. Maybe 6, maybe a year. In the evening, Zoe pulls Grant and says how she's unsure of where they stand because she hasn't had a one-on-one. Grant says it's been really tough on him making certain decisions throughout this process, but a one-on-one really doesn't even matter. It only takes one conversation to see if you really click with that person. And yeah, okay. A one-on-one definitely matters. But, I mean, props to you for trying to reassure her. And he says, well, maybe it's good that we haven't had a one-on-one because you keep me, yearning for more, which that's cap. He's really just trying to make Zoe feel good, but I appreciate him trying to make her feel good. I totally think she about to go home at the end of this. I feel like if he wanted to,
period.
Okay, exactly. If I was her, I'd pack my bags and leave before he does it for me. I'm gonna just peace out because I'm thinking this man ain't serious about me at all. At all. Let me go ahead and get out of here. Pack my stuff up while I still got my dignity. And catch me on Bachelor in Paradise. And Grant stays reassuring her. So it's like, I don't know how to feel because Grant has reassured women in the past and sent their butts home the same episode. Grant is to not be trusted with all this reassuring. Sometimes it don't mean jack squat. So, like I said, I would leave, but she could be the deviant. She could break she could surprise us and somehow get the hometown rose even though she's never had a one-on-one. While Grant's talking to some other people, Dina, Serafina, and Carolina get into it about what happened that day. They confront Carolina and say, like, you stole him the whole day, basically. Why would you do that? And Carolina's talking about, well, actually, I didn't steal him. He came and talked to me. And then Dina's like,
do you not have free will? Like, could you not stop a conversation? Do you not have that free will? No. Okay then, amazing. It's the lack of accountability for me. And I stuck up for you for a reason. And for you to sit here and say you don't care. What did I say? You literally just said you don't have free will. You don't have free will? Of course that's a sarcastic comment. That doesn't mean that I don't care. You can't just be sarcastic anytime you don't want to own up the things that you did. You can't just say, oh, I'm being sarcastic. Oh, I'm being funny. It doesn't come off as funny. I'm not saying it was funny. No, it comes off ungrateful.
So Dina and Carolina are screaming at each other back and forth, and Serafina's hopping in too. Then that fizzles out, but Carolina goes to the steps. Dina comes to the steps too, and them two get into it on the steps.
I'm wondering if you're gonna go pull him. You act like you don't care, and then we get to a group date. But no matter what I do, we get to a group date, and then you're like, I'm taking Grant, and I'm gone. But I did not take him. But oh my God, he grabbed you. You grabbed him. Does it matter? It does. If you don't care. I talk in the group, it's a problem. I don't talk in the group, it's a problem. Have a bad attitude, it's a problem. Pretty bad arguments for a lawyer. Are you gonna talk to Grant? Because that would be crazy. I guess I'm crazy and evil.
Singing as she walks up the stairs like a maniac. And yeah, that girl heads and pulls Grant yet again. Like I said, Zoe is in the clear. The villain is fully Carolina now. Carolina talks to Grant about how she doesn't want him to think that her not wanting to participate was due to him. It was just due to her not wanting to share him with the other women. And later on, the girls almost get into it again. Dina and Carolina are at it again. When Carolina comes back from talking to Grant, Dina just wants to know,
how was your night, Carolina? It was as good as it could have been. Just be for real for once. How was your night? As good as it could have been. Oh, amazing. And so what is the problem?
There's no problem. We're done.
Yeah. Didn't you want to be real?
Nope. We're not dealing with this anymore. We're absolutely done talking about this.
I've been done.
Are you? You know, guys, we're done. Yeah. Like, seriously, we're done.
I rode so hard for Carolina last week. I'm now witnessing firsthand like how Carolina thinks about herself and nobody else.
And so Dina takes that same energy and heads on right upstairs to talk to Grant. She doesn't use Carolina's name. She kind of just says like, there were people I stood up for last week. And you know, now I see why people were sharing those thoughts about them. My mind has been changed. I want you to know that some people are here for themselves and not for you. And you should really place value on spending time with people who are here for you. And then she kind of hints more at Carolina and says, yeah, like, you need to watch out for her. And Grant is taking this seriously.
Wow, I'm surprised. One of the women that I do trust the most, her opinion is Dina. And, you know, she told me some things tonight about Carolina. I've had too many women talk about Carolina, and at some point, I'm questioning, is it her? But Carolina, I do see her as somebody that I could be with. I still have a lot of things to figure out.
Thank you, Grant. And thank you, Dina, for helping him realize that Carolina has been the problem. And she wouldn't be a problem if she just freaking shut her mouth. Y'all don't even know. Y'all don't even know that Grant has been met Lydia's mom. Been. That's something worth fighting. That's something worth getting into it about. He already met the mom and y'all don't even know. And that's the difference between Lydia and Carolina and heck, even Rose. Lydia keeps her mouth shut. She keeps things for just her and Grant. The whole world doesn't need to know. They'll find out when it airs on TV. The heck? Y'all arguing over this foolishness. Grant has met Lydia's mother. Let's get real. Let's get real, okay? Grant's already asking Lydia's family about ring sizes. Probably. Might as well be. You know? Let's argue over something worth arguing about, okay? This ain't even worth all that. This ain't even worth all that. It is time for Lydia's one-on-one. They're walking around exploring the beautiful city of Edinburgh. They try haggis. They try whiskey. Grant tries to play the bagpipes. Doesn't sound the best, but the effort is what counts. He performs a poem in front of a crowd to Lydia, and they try the tying the knot tradition, which started in Scotland. During dinner, things get real, y'all. Lydia shares that her family is super conservative. She is a part of the Jesus Christ Church of Latter-day Saints. If you don't know what that is, it means she's Mormon. She has never dated anyone outside of her religion, and she really wants to know about Grant's relationship with God. Grant tells Litía that he has a relationship with God, and at times that he felt alone, God was always there for him. He explains he doesn't know much about the Jesus Christ Church of Latter-day Saints or what it means to be Mormon, but Litía is worth diving into that and exploring and seeing if it's something that he could intertwine with his possible family one day. And then his family didn't sit down and have family dinners together. He would take his plate up and go to his room and sit by himself. That is so sad. I can't imagine that being the norm. I loved sitting down and having dinners with my family and really getting the chance to bond with everyone. So that is so sad to hear that Grant didn't experience that. It was normal for him to eat dinner by himself. And because of that, he is so ecstatic for the day that he has a family and they sit down for dinner together all the time. He can't wait. And that's so beautiful. That will be a beautiful moment for Grant and whoever he ends up with. I really feel for him. Grant says that he wants to be better for Litía.
And you're also just like enough, just who you are, you know, you're perfect.
Well, I'm not perfect, but
You're close.
but I definitely,
Fair enough.
yeah, and I'm trying.
No.
You know, so
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you. I feel like you're somebody who I can see myself building a life with, and I'm falling for you. You're amazing, you're beautiful, you're smart, you're funny, and you're ready, and I'm ready. And when two people meet and they're ready, I think that some amazing things can happen. Can we seal that with the kiss?
Of course.
Y'all, Litía admits that she loves him! She says it, y'all! She says she loves him! Let me tell y'all how it happened. Okay. She says seeing him sit there and tell her about all that stuff really makes her want to love him. And the producer says,
I am so happy right now. I feel like I have a clearer picture of the man that he is and why he is the way he is, and it just feels like more real now. Yeah, I feel grateful that he opened up to me, and it just made me want to love him.
and the producer says, do you? And she says,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. If she doesn't win, y'all, please come check on me. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna need to be in the hospital. My heart's gonna be broken. And I'm not even Grant or Litía, but I want them to work out so bad. Now, she only says this to the producer. Only the producers know. Grant does not know this yet. But that's big, guys. That's huge. Before the rose ceremony, Carolina pulls Dina and apologizes for how she's been acting. She thanks Dina for standing up for her when no one would, and she's sorry that their friendship had to come to this. She doesn't know if she'll see her again after tonight because, like I said, after this week, they're really not going to see each other again anymore. It's going to be individual time from here on out. And so before she's not sure if she sees her again, she wants to make it right. She would love if they continue to be friends and they give each other hugs and make up. Those who are sent home are as follows. Alex, which, that broke me, y'all. She was the first one-on-one. I loved her personality. I was shocked. Serafina, which I literally told y'all. Did I not? I said if I had to put money on it, she was going home this episode, and I'm right. Guess who goes home last? Carolina! I was tired of it. And Grant was tired of it too. It's time to go! Moving on to hometowns is Dina, Juliana, Zoe, shocker. She's got to be the first person ever to make it to hometowns with no one-on-one date. Come on. Well, we know she's realistically not going to win the show, but I guess, cool. You shocked me, Grant. You shocked me. And let's get ready for the ride that will be next week's review, okay? And the preview, it looks like none of them go well. I'm gonna be so honest. So we'll see what that's about. But for now, thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode. Remember, wear your seatbelt and Team Litía. Bye.